I looked up a study by Peggy Kleinplatz and colleagues who actually looked at the question from a scientific perspective. What is great sex? And they interviewed 64 people from varying backgrounds, including sexual minority people. So, for example, polyamorous individuals, bisexual women, gay men, or members of SM communities, and then also a group of older adults, older than 60 years, that had been in relationships for more than 25 years. So really the experts on sex, you could say, from one perspective. And then also some sex therapists that could offer like a professional insight into the topic. So they interviewed these people on the phone and recorded the semi-structured interviews, where they asked people what for you is the difference between great sex and very good sex, and also to tell them about their best sexual experiences. And by the way, already in the introduction, the authors mention that in the clinical practice, when you ask people what was your greatest sexual experience, people often say, oh, that was when I was a teenager and I was just making out with this guy and there was not even any genital contact. So it's very interesting, right, that can be the greatest sexual experience of your life and there was not even genital contact. Yeah, so these authors analyzed these interviews afterwards and they came up with 10 themes that emerged across all these people from all these varied backgrounds about what constitutes great sex. The first theme is to be really present, focused, and embodied. Yeah, so really feeling all the sensations that are happening in each moment. Yeah, there's also some people say that the time slows down. You're not a person in a situation, you are it. You are the situation, is what one participant reported. Getting lost in the moment, intense concentration, distraction becomes almost impossible because you're so focused. So the room could be on fire and you wouldn't notice because you're like so present and so much in your body focused. Okay. Then the second theme is connection, alignment, merger, and being in sync. So that one is about really connecting and being linked on a deep level, and it didn't matter if the relationship was just for some hours or for already for years. Yeah, so also with a one-night stand you can have this type of connection and alignment. So people talked about energy, electricity, alignment, conductivity, being in sync. One woman even said one can have great sex with, for example, very little penetration or very little physical contact with an intense amount of energy. Yeah, really this energetic exchange between people. A melding, blurring of identity boundaries so that one feels like you were literally feeling with the other, and the distinction between what the other person feels and what you feel seems almost irrelevant. And in order to be able to merge in this way with another person, people reported they needed good, clear boundaries and self-acceptance, so being grounded. The third theme is deep sexual and erotic intimacy. Yeah? So in a way, people here talked about love in many different ways, but they didn't really mention the word love. So it was about deep mutual respect, caring, genuine acceptance, and admiration for each other. Yeah? Also trusting each other and taking care of each other and knowing that the other one will take care of you. It's part of the way you act with each other long before you're actually engaged in any kind of, technical sex, someone said. The fourth point is extraordinary communication and heightened empathy. So not just giving each other constructive feedback, so touch me like this, touch me like that, but like really sharing yourself completely, authentically during and after sex, and communicating with each other both verbally and non-verbally. Because for some people it's hard to express in words what they want or what they don't want. So also non-verbally or by touch, for example, people expressed their needs and boundaries in this theme. Also in this theme it was mentioned that sex itself, talking itself, can be an erotic act, right? In the famous dirty talking that some of you might also be familiar with. Then the fifth theme is authenticity, being genuine, uninhibited, and transparent. One of the older women said, sex where you can say anything and be anything. So giving yourself permission to really feel pleasure and joy, really allowing yourself to let go and feel whatever is there. Being completely emotionally naked with another person, true to yourself. And one woman, for example, talked about revealing herself to her husband completely, and she said, it was just so shocking to me that I could actually express these things, and he was right there loving it and doing it with me. I guess she's talking about some fantasies she's been having, for example. Yeah, and some people said that in order to really let go, they first had to let go of standard ideas of how sex is usually proceeding, like foreplay, penetration, cuddling, whatever we think how sex should be like. And they had to first let go of that in order to then really be authentic and genuine and uninhibited. The sixth theme is transcendence, bliss, peace, transformation, and healing. So some people had really, or a lot of people actually reported about altered states of consciousness, so really heightened, altered mental, emotional, physical, relational, and spiritual states, even meeting God, bliss, peace, awe, ecstasy, soulfulness. One man said an experience of floating in the universe of light and stars and music and sublime peace. Very beautiful. Timelessness, infinite, even God, as I said. And also people said great sex can change you. It can make you more than you are. And yeah, being authentic with each other, trust, intimacy, etc., it carries over to your normal life, and that is why it can help you grow also in the life outside the bedroom. So basically, sex is a path to heaven, as is said in the article. Then the seventh theme is interpersonal risk-taking, exploration, and fun. So just like exploring and enjoying, like children, just trying different things and experimenting. Like, what if I touch you there? Will you like it? If I touch you there, will you like it? Does it turn you on if I speak like this or like that? And just trying it out, and also having a sense of humor about it and being able to laugh in the bedroom. I thought that was a very nice point. Just have fun, basically. That's also part of great sex. The eighth point is vulnerability and surrender. Yeah, so we already had some points about authenticity, but that was more about being authentic within yourself. Whereas this point is more about in relation to the other person. So really surrendering to the other person. Someone said sex is a leap of faith. It's saying I'm going to jump off this cliff where I'm going to, be naked and be vulnerable and give myself to somebody else and take them in and hope I feel good after I do that. Yeah. So some say surrendering control over their own bodies is like the most amazing thing, and then others say that for them it's the most amazing thing if their partner actually surrenders to them. Then there were two more components which were actually not mentioned by everyone, just by a few of them, who found these points also really essential, but not sufficient for great sex. So one was intense physical sensation and orgasm. Yeah, so just really utter feeling of total satisfaction, slow, gradual built-in intensity was mentioned by people. Yeah, but the majority actually found orgasm neither necessary nor sufficient for great sex, interestingly. It isn't about orgasm, it's about one long, intense plateau. But that said, some people also said that great sex just correlates often with having lots of orgasms, so she couldn't really separate the two. So it differs across individuals. The 10th point is lust, desire, chemistry, attraction. Yeah, so one woman said this is this feeling of, oh my god, if I go another minute without my hands on you, I shall simply cease to be. Very beautiful. Yeah, so those were the 10 themes that emerged as important for great sex. For amazing sex, not just good sex, but great sex. And as you can see, it's not about having an erection. All these, most of these, basically all these points you could have without even having an erection, for example, or without having fancy postures. So yeah, it really changes our view on what great sex constitutes. And the authors are very clear on saying we don't want this to be another set of guidelines like this is how sex should be and this is what we should achieve. But it shows more that actually when you really let go and you let go of all these ideas and you relax, then really great sex can emerge. Thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe if you're interested in more videos about sexuality and related topics. Yes, and I'm happy about a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching.